Okay, so we're down here at Red Hill Cutlery today, and we're here to talk about one-handed opening folding knives. And you have a smattering here. So can you explain some of the different locking mechanisms and opening mechanisms and why they're so handy?
There are 1,001 different opening mechanisms and styles and variations of
Right.
knives, and so most people when they go pocket knife, they just think of the traditional slip joint with the nail neck, but the amount of evolution that has occurred in the knife industry has allowed for some really incredible designs over the years.
Hold on, what was this one that you just picked up?
That's the Bel Air, the crossbar lock one. It's one
Okay.
of my personal favorites. For me, it's not so much about opening with one hand as being able to close it with one hand.
Right.
Because if this hand's busy,
Yeah.
I can open just about any knife with one hand, but not every knife is able to close with one hand. Like this one here, you gotta do some stuff, and now your fingers
Oh,
in the
yeah.
way. It gets messy.
Yeah. And with a lockback, I've actually seen people a lot, or even the way I do it, I'll depress it and then I get my fingers out of the way and then push it down and finish it on my leg,
Yeah,
like finish closing it on my leg. But it's still more steps than something like
yeah.
this where you can just, I mean, that's
And that's why eventually
effortless.
blew up so fast. Is they had the market cornered on this particular lock design that allowed for that easy one hand open, one hand close,
Yeah.
the kind of fidget factor and just the convenience factor of it. Without, you could argue that this has an even better convenience factor, but legally there's a lot of gray areas and loopholes depending on what state you're in. So
Because it's what is that considered, like a stiletto or like an auto knife?
yeah, it's considered an automatic, which
Right.
and this is even more convenient than the crossbar lock, you could argue. And with the out the front specifically, one of the main advantages of these is it allows for a double-edged blade.
Mm.
This one here is just a Bowie style clip point, but because that blade is all the way in the handle, that allows you to actually have double edge. Whereas with something like this, if it was double edged, that's just going to be a sharp edge
Right. Every time you touch
every
it,
time I touch it.
yeah, you're gonna have problems.
So that's one reason. One of the advantages with out the fronts is it allows for double edge. And then this kind of knife here is very popular just for the simple reason of how simplistic it is. If you just want a tool that's always there when you need it, replaceable blades, you don't have to worry about sharpening it. You just pull
Oh,
it out,
nice.
you flip it around even, and you're good to go for another round.
So what is that? When you did you hit the button? Is that what released it?
So this actually
When
has
you
a half
depress
stop
it?
on there. Put it halfway, it'll release it. You go all the way, it's locked. You go all the way back in, it's completely retracted.
Nice. Seems
Yeah,
super handy, especially like if you're like opening boxes or like
it's a
cutting
box
plastic
buster.
off of skids and stuff like that. For sure. Now, what is this one? I've seen it before, but I'm not sure what the name of what it's
It's
called exactly.
it's called Predator. It's from a Mikov, it's a circular blacking company. They're rather obscure. You don't see them very often, but the way it works is it has this little tab on there. The tab actually folds down, so it's not going to go off in your pocket. Some automatics that have the buttons on them, there's concern for just pressing the button, reaching for your keys or something, and it goes off in your pocket, and now you have a sharp knife in your pocket.
Right.
This completely eliminates that, and all you do is flip it up,
Gotcha. So it's almost like
push it
it
down.
gets flush. It's like a hideaway locking
Yeah,
mechanism.
it's flush. It's flush with your pocket. You barely even feel any kind of ridge or obtrusion there.
That makes sense.
It just feels good in the hand too, and it's very very creative design. Like I said, there's all sorts of variations and stuff.
Yeah. What's this one here
That
exactly?
is the Deploy from Buck. That is button lock auto. So when people think of when they say they're looking for a switchblade or something, it usually means they're looking either for this or something like this, where it's the button lock.
Right. Yeah, when I think switchblade, I think like the old school, like
Stiletto.
stilettos,
Yeah,
where you
that's what I
like the
say too.
Italian stilettos, where you hit the button, it just pops right out.
Right, but most people when they say that, they're just thinking of an automatic knife in general. They're not specifically meaning switchblades and stilettos and what the proper use of the term is.
Gotcha. So this button right here on it, is that like a lock to?
Yeah, that's the
So
safety
when
on
you're
it in the pocket.
okay, so you have to actually bring this back
Yep.
to get it to release. Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why that one was so popular is because everything's flush on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen that one before.
Yeah, that's a very popular one from Buck. And then Spyderco, they got their famous signature thumb hole,
Yeah, I've seen those.
and it's super easy.
Yeah.
We don't have one up here, but the compression lock they have also it makes things very easy. You just press it in and flip it down.
It's almost like a liner lock, except it's on the back, right?
It's not quite as intuitive as the crossbar lock or the button lock even, but it's still
Yeah.
very functional, and there's just an undeniable cool factor
Yeah.
about it.
Now, what's the difference with this one? Is this like when you hit the button, does this pop out automatically on
No,
this
it's
one,
not an
or
automatic. It's a button lock. So technically, this one's a button lock too.
right?
But the difference between an automatic button lock and just a straight up button lock is when I press the button, that
Okay.
doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
The button is
It's
only
not like
there.
spring assisted, basically.
The button is only there to close it.
Gotcha. But you could actually, if you, I mean, if you wanted to, you could.
Yeah, you can put a little wrist action there and
Yeah.
whip it up that way.
And so
But
it's still
legally,
one-handed opening and closing at the end of the day.
yeah, one hand open, one hand closed. Yeah.
That's a little knife. I like the feel of that though.
Legally, that's not an automatic knife, which it's always been kind of silly to me because you can get to a point with this where it's every bit as fast as an automatic.
For sure.
This is illegal in California, and most of these are perfectly fine there. It depends on what area you're in. But
Yeah. So looking at this, it's like a liner lock that this button just pushes that liner back almost.
yeah,
I got you. Instead of being a full length liner lock, it's just a small little button, like
the
a little
majority of
tab.
these operate on some principle of just getting up underneath the blade and blocking it in
Yeah,
some way.
from moving anywhere. Yeah, actually, before when I first started carrying this one, when we talked about it, and you said that was your EDC, I had this, and I had to get so used to not doing this to try to close it because I'm used to carrying liner locks. And honestly, before I saw you do it, I never even considered opening it like that with the crossbar lock. I just used the thumb tabs.
That's what you intuitively do. But
Yeah, but it's a really nice knife.
that's why I like these so much. There's a fidget factor. There's so much you can do with it.
Yeah, I still wish I got the carbon fiber though
Yeah.
instead of the aluminum. I just didn't know it would come out. So out of these mechanisms, if you had, I know you're probably going to say this one, but
not counting this
yeah,
one.
not counting that one, which are you most comfortable with, or which would you carry your preferred?
Personally, probably
Yeah.
the button lock.
Yeah.
Just because of that, still the one-handed close.
Right.
Not in this color, obviously, but
yeah.
But either that, or depending on what I'm doing, one of these. If I'm doing a lot of box busting, where it's just repetitive busting up cardboard that's going to dull your knife, there's no point in carrying something you have to resharpen all the time. Just carry this, get the disposable blades, and save some time.
Yeah. I think I would probably have to go with the Elementum. I like that liner lock a lot.
Locks are really nice, yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for your time.